So, hi everyone, how is it going? uh, Performance is very important for our websites and applications, right? So, what else is important? Accessibility and SEO. So, that's what I will be talking about next. So, but before I start, just a quick show of hands. How many of you take accessibility into consideration when you are developing something? Come on. Whoa, I love it. I love it. Yeah, pat on your back. You are doing great. And for the ones who might not be doing it, it's never too late. We can start today and do it, right? So, what about SEO? So, anyone works with SEO? Yeah, few hands, few hands. That's cool. That's cool. Awesome. So, yeah. So this talk is like little peculiar when I picked it up first, like accessibility and SEO. Weird, right? Like, why do I put them both together? So I thought I would start with a little bit of story. Once upon a time, okay? So like, what motivated me to pick this talk? So I was working with one of my previous clients, and I got this task to work on. The task was related to SEO. Okay, so I literally jumped out of my seat because I never worked with SEO before. So I was like, yay, I'm going to learn something new, right? Like, as a developer, so we see something new, shiny, and we all are excited that, yes, that's what I want to learn, and that's what I want to work at next. So I was very happy. Very happy, very happy. Then I read the description. I was like, I have to do what? So basically, the accessibility mind of mine, okay? So I talk a lot about accessibility. So I was like, sorry, what? I have to work on this to improve SEO? So what was it? What was it? So what I had to do is basically, it was a pretty simple task wherein in one page, let's say, without revealing much of confidential information, there were like maybe 5 to 10 images, and what I had to do was basically keyword stuffing, which is that in all the images, you put the product name as the alternative text, right? So it's not right. It just didn't feel right. So I was like, oh, okay. So I started a discussion. I told them, actually wrote this big paragraph of why it will hurt the accessibility of the website and how it is not the right way to enhance SEO of the website, maybe. I got a reply. Well, to summarize the reply, it was like, your concern on accessibility is understandable, but this ticket is for SEO. We really need it. We did it before, it worked, we want to do it again. I was like, huh? Nope, not on my watch. So we discussed, long story short, we had discussions and everything, but it was a very positive outcome. So like, it was pretty nice. We discussed, I was able to make them understand that how to do it in a correct way maybe, and how not to impact the accessibility of our website. Most of the images were basically presentational images, and we do not need all text for them. So basically, we put alt equal to empty string for those, and not keyword stuff it, because it would just not be the right user experience for our users. Finally, I was happy. Okay, it was something. But what I realized in that small ticket was like, okay, so there is this widespread conflicting notion regarding accessibility. Normally, when we think about accessibility, and we are like, if we want to do anything else with our website, be it that we want to make it performant, we want to make it search engine optimized, we want to make it beautiful, or we want to cut the cost short, we always compromise on accessibility because we think that accessibility is gonna like hinder that process. It's gonna pull us down and we won't achieve our task in time. It's not like that. The problem is that whenever we think in terms of versus. It's like accessibility versus SEO. Totally wrong notion, literally wrong notion. So, what's the agenda for my today's talk? We'll discuss how to create accessible and SEO-friendly Next.js application. Now, I say Next.js application, but whatever I'm going to discuss today, it's not only for Next.js application. The concepts are transferable to any technology that you are working in front end. Syntax might be different, but the concepts will remain same and the mindset will remain same. But let's also get out of the way what this talk is not going to be about. Making you an expert in accessibility and SEO. I can't do that in 25 minutes, but yeah. So what is this talk about then? It's mainly about starting this conversation and keep it going about accessibility. We are doing a lot in accessibility right now, but we need more conversation around it, and we need to keep it going. And it's also mainly focused on this notion that accessibility and SEO, they are not contradictory. In fact, they are complementary to each other. And I would like to advocate for accessibility-driven decision-making process. So let's start. So just some definitions. So what exactly is accessibility, or ALLY? ALLY is basically the neural name for accessibility, where 11 refers to the number of letters between A and Y. It means making resources and services usable by everyone. So there are multiple types of disabilities in this world, and the disabled users, they use different types of assistive technologies to access the web, like screen readers, keyboards, switch, braille, screen magnifiers, and a lot more. So we need to ensure that we are following the standard coding guidelines, and we are making our application and websites accessible to all our users. SEO, or search engine optimization, means driving traffic and higher rank in the organic search results. We build the websites for our users, right? Now, search engines are one of those users. What they do is that they make our content discoverable for all other users. So SEO is all about making the search engines understand our content and making it discoverable to all our users. So to understand why we need SEO, let's see how the search engines like Google, Bing, etc., they work. So the search engine or search system, they have 4 main responsibilities. They pass the content in all the websites. It is called the crawling phase. Then the data collected from the crawling phase is stored for further access. This is called indexing phase. It might also perform some rendering operations if we have some client-side JavaScript. And then come the ranking phase, where the data that was stored in the index, it is queried as per the user search results or the keywords. So every search engine has something called crawlers. They are basically bots, like Google has Google bots, and they continuously keep on crawling the web. So done with definitions. So okay, and I didn't press enter. Okay, so let's see some code. So we will start with basics. So we are going to create a next application, which I already did, by the way. So yarn create next app, and then we are going to run the development server, and then we are going to run the Lighthouse audit without changing any code, just to see what it is for now. So this is how it looks when we run the development server. We are going to inspect and go to the DevTools and check the Lighthouse tab. Now we have categories, accessibility and SEO, and we are going to run the report for Lighthouse for it. When we run the reports, we see that SEO is 100, but accessibility has a score of 97. What's the error? It says that HTML does not have a lang attribute. So if the language attribute is not available, then the screen reader actually takes the default language of the user settings as default. And if the language has mismatched, then they are not going to pronounce the right text to the user. Highly inaccessible. So what is this error? Missing language, right? So this is actually a very common error. So WebAIM does 1 million report, where they go ahead and take top 1 million websites of the world and audit their home pages for accessibility issues. And 28.9% of those home pages have this error. There's also a very nice GitHub discussion around this topic. So I will share the slides after the talk, so you can take a look at all the links. So how do we fix this issue? So for Next.js, we can fix it via 2 ways. We can add a custom document, or we can add something in Next.js config. So how to add something in custom document? We create a _document.js file in pages and add a lang attribute to HTML tag. Let's see that in action. So we go ahead in our pages folder, we create a new file called _document.js, and then we do something awesome. We go ahead to Next.js official website and copy paste the code as any developer does. So yeah, that's how we work, right? So we copy the code, we paste it, and then we go ahead and add the lang attribute. My website is in English, so I'm going to add en to it. Now, when the website will run, we see that we see a lang in HTML tag right now. And if we run the Lighthouse reports again now, we can see that, okay, now this error is gone, right? So, but the 100, okay? So when you see 100, you're like, yeah, awesome. I did everything I could. Like, I made my website application accessible, but no, it's not like that. That 100 does not identify that your website is 100% accessible. So this is something which I put as a disclaimer here, that because the tests which are run by Lighthouse Audit, they are automated tests, and they contribute to like maybe 40 to 45% of the accessibility issues. We need to do manual testing also to make sure that our website is 100% accessible, So, but today we are going to just focus on the DevTools. Okay. The second way is to add a configuration for I18 in Next.js config. So we can add different locales if we have more than one locale supported for our website, and add a default locale which will be added to the HTML tag. Now, we didn't even code anything, right? So we just created something and ran the audit. Now, let's add more pages to the website. So what I have done that I've created few simple routes. They are just links with simple text, right? So like one of them is SEO types, where what are different types of SEO, okay? So now I'm going to run the audit for this page and see that what's the report now after we added a new page. So if we see the score now, it would be like accessibility 97, but SEO is 80. Okay, what happened? So what's the error for accessibility? It is title. Title is very important, and it gives screen readers an overview that what is the page about, and it also is used by the search engines. So that's why you see the same error in SEO as well. And the second error is that the document does not have meta description. Now, this is very important, a very small example, but very important because we see that the same error was both for SEO and for accessibility. So it's just a starting point of seeing that how they are complementary, and how if we make the right decision, we are going to impact both in positive way. So the issues were no title and no meta. What is meta description? So meta description is something which gives a quick summary or overview of the website, and user gets to know that what will they get when they click on that link, right? So, for example, if we search for React Live conference, so we get this meta description which talks about React Live, right? So this is something which lets the users know that what that link is about. How do we add it? We add it in head tag, so title and meta description. So we go to our SEO types page, and we go ahead, add the head, and write proper title. So every page should have a specific title to denote that what that page contains, and then we write a meta description so that the user understands that what they are going to expect when they click on that page, right? So we will do this, and then when we'll go ahead and run the Lighthouse report again. So yeah, so we see that yeah, code doesn't change. We run the Lighthouse report, and then we will again see that shiny 100, right? Again, it doesn't mean 100%, but yeah, we did fix the issue which it raised, so we are good. Okay, cool. So without going into details because the time is limited, let's look through some of the things which are important to both SEO and accessibility. Semantic HTML, pretty much important for accessibility as well as SEO. Page titles and language, we just saw. Alternative text for images, transcripts and captions for video and audio, and descriptive link test, and a lot more. So there are so many things which are very important for both search engine optimization as well as accessibility. Cool. So we talked a bit about SEO and accessibility. I want to talk about something else as well. So whenever we create something, yes, crawler scrolls the web content, and they show our content in the search results, but we want to share it with the world. So what we do, we also share it on our social media, right? So now I want to share this website which I created till now to social media. So this is LinkedIn. So I share it. So it looks like this. Yeah, like learn SEO, this is a link, and description. Okay, cool, cool. What does some other websites look like, right? So let's take example of React Live conference. Yeah, the best React conference ever. Anyways, we see something is different. It looks so nice. It gives a very nice, a rich user experience, right? I see this sweet, nice image, and I'm like, oh, I'm intrigued. I want to click on this and see what this is about. So the thing is that my website was like so simple. I wanted it to be like this. I really wanted to be like this. So how do we create that rich social preview? So we are going to see that. So we have different links for different social media where we can go ahead and check how our websites will look when we are going to share there. So like Twitter card validator, LinkedIn has a post inspector. There is something which I like, which is meta tags preview. Here you can go ahead and see all the different social media at once. So for example, and it's not working anyways. Yeah, it's working. So for example, for this current URL, you see that I'm trying to see how it looks in like Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. So yeah, simple, no images and all, right? So, okay. So how can we fix that? There's something called Open Graph. What is Open Graph? Open Graph is an internet protocol which enables any web page to become a rich object in the social preview. So whenever we are sharing any link in any social media, we can also customize it to contain rich information, like title, image, URL, type, description, and so on. How do we do that? Again, good old Meta. Yeah, not the company. So in Meta, what we do is that we key value pair in property, we add those OZ values like OG colon title or something, and then the content. In the content, we add the value, right? Okay, so let's do it. So in the index.js file, what we will go that again in the head, we will go ahead and again I'm going to copy paste stuff. So yeah, these are all the Open Graph values which I added, and the main point is on maybe let's say image. So in image, this is my deployed URL, where it's deployed, and it takes the image from the public folder. So I have that image in my public folder, so it's going to pick that Open Graph image from that public folder, and it's going to use it as a rich social media preview, right? So this was how we began, right? This was how we began, but now after we added Open Graph, how does it look? It looks like this. So which link would we rather click on, right? Like the left or the right? So which one looks better, user experience? So yeah, I would definitely click on the right one. Yeah? So, and if we want to see it for all others, so like we can again go to meta tags and we can see that, yeah, for everyone it looks pretty nice, pretty nice. Okay, cool. So it's awesome, right? So we add something in meta and suddenly it gives a very rich user experience. Definitely good. So if you have not added it to your websites maybe, so you can try it, maybe. If you've added, good job again. So, okay, going to summarize now. So we saw some of the very basic examples of the errors, like setting document language. Every page should have a title, so the users as well as the search engines, the screen readers, basically everyone knows that what that page is about. Adding meta tags and adding open graphs for a rich social media preview, right? We also started with the conversation today with accessibility versus SEO, right? So I want to say again that accessibility and SEO, they are not versus. They are never versus. They are never versus. They need to work together. So we need to make them work together if we really want to help our end users. So these two needs to work together if we want to make our end users win. And we all know, whatever we create it for our end users, right? So if the end users win, they are able to do what they want to do. If they are able to access, if they are able to perform actions like they wanted to do, then it's their win. And if they win is when we win, because we create everything for our users, right? So with that, I have attached some links in which you can go ahead and read more about accessibility, core web vitals, SEO, and all. Also, there are the website which I use for the demo, as well as the GitHub repo, which is public for the code. You can scan the QR code or go to anuradhakumari.com/talks, and you will find all the details of the talks, as well as a request to you all. There's a feedback form on that website. So whenever I give a talk, this is one thing I always request, that you can give me feedback there. It's anonymous. Go ahead. Tell me, what did you like, what did you not like? So everyone is improving. I'm trying to improve myself, and I would really love to hear from you. And yeah, help me be better. Okay, so who am I? So I thought that, yeah, I wanted to put that slide in the first, but then, yeah, imposter syndrome, yay. So anyways, so I'm working as a front-end consultant at Passionate People. I'm a Google Developer Expert, Microsoft MVP, and a Cloudinary MDE. Also self-proclaimed accessibility advocate. So yeah, you will see me a lot talking about accessibility. So even after today, if you want to discuss something about accessibility or anything in general, you can always connect with me on Twitter @miracle_404. Also, I recently started a YouTube channel where I'm going to put in-depth content on accessibility. So maybe you would want to check it out if you would like. With that, so that's all my time. It was a really nice presenting to you all. See you all around. And thank you so much. Thank you.